Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Haley. Today, I'm really excited because we're doing one of my most popular videos on my channel, which is an empties video. And if you've been following me for a while, I do these once a season so I'm actually a little late on this one. But this is summer empties plus kind of fall. And it's funny because my last empties, I did not have a whole lot, and it was because in the spring was when I found out that I was pregnant and I was having such bad like morning sickness and stuff, and I was really experimenting with like what I was allowed to use skincare wise and stuff in pregnancy, and so I just didn't use up a whole lot. I also wasn't wearing a ton of makeup during that time either because I was just so sick. Conversely, for the summer and the beginning of fall, I have so much stuff that I could barely lift this bag. Yeah, it is full to the brim. Full disclosure, I have a cold that you can probably tell. This is the first time I've been sick in a while. There's also someone vacuuming upstairs, so you might be able to hear that. I'm so sorry. But I think the last time I was sick was after Christmas last year, and then I got pregnant in February. So yeah, it's just a cold. I've done a couple different tests and it's just a cold. Doctor's keeping a close eye on me and baby, and baby's doing good. We had a doctor's appointment for him. I am just over 32 weeks pregnant, so we're getting closer. But yeah, anyway, all of that to say, I am excited about doing this empties. I love doing these videos. You guys seem to really like them, so I keep doing them. And yeah, okay, we have some baby oil. This is from the Up and Up brand, and I want to say in a recent empties video I was saying that I thought the Up and Up brand was discontinuing their baby oil because it was just getting harder and harder to find their brand of baby oil in Target. But I can now say they actually just changed the packaging, so I've recently bought a new one that looks totally different. And yeah, so they are selling it again, which is great because the off brands are always way cheaper than Johnson & Johnson. I'll buy it if I have to. I use this to remove my eye makeup. I still use this. I think I reincorporated this back into my routine last year, and I have not gone back because it's just the best at getting off your eye makeup. You don't have to like super scrub or anything like that. It just works so well, even on like waterproof things too. So big fan of baby oil in here. We got just good old bleach. Looks like it's just an off brand of bleach, but we have white towels and we use white sheets, so we always use bleach whenever we wash those things, and it works. I mean, I sometimes get makeup on my towels after I get out of the shower, and there are no stains on these towels, so good old bleach. Okay, I actually just repurchased this. It's the Tree Hut Moonlight Glow Moisturizing Shave Oil. This is a new scent from them. This stuff is amazing. I've talked about this so much, and so many people on YouTube talk about this because it's just so good. You get such a close shave, it doesn't gunk up your razor, it lasts a fair amount of time. Like I said, this is one of their newer scents. I really like this one. I was hoping they were going to come out with one for fall, but they haven't. But this is probably my favorite scent that they've come out with. It's funny, I just recently watched a empties video from Jessica Braun, and she said the same thing. I'm still waiting for them to release one that is not scented, especially for those of us with more sensitive skin, although this has never irritated my skin, and I do have really sensitive skin. So big fan of this. Next up, we have my very favorite false lashes. I'm actually wearing them today. I'm not super up close, so it's probably hard to tell, but it's the Kiss MLBB lashes, the My Lashes But Better, in their Bare Affair style. I love this because it really adds a lot of volume, but they still look fairly natural, and yeah, so I just love them. They work for me. They don't pop off as long as I use the right glue. They're just so good. So big fan of these, and you can see where I've cut them down a little bit. I have really small eyes that are also hooded, so I pretty much always have to cut lashes down a little bit. Okay, this is a fun one. The Nature Made Prenatal Vitamins. I get these at Costco. Funny story about these, I really like them. I was using gummies when I was trying to get pregnant. So I talked about this, I think, in a video before. We were trying to get pregnant for a while. It was going on 9 months when we finally got pregnant, and I had been using gummies. And then the month before we actually got pregnant with this sweet baby boy, I switched over to these ones from Costco, and I got pregnant. I'm not a doctor, guys. I'm not to say it's because of this. There's actually a lot of different things I was doing. So I don't know. It also could have just been the right time. I don't know. But the other great thing about these, it's funny I'm saying this because I'm sick now. I attribute not getting sick for so long to these prenatal vitamins, because if you look in prenatal vitamins, they have so many good things for you. And there have been a couple times where I felt like maybe my body was starting to fight something off, and then within a day or two it was gone. And so I was like, I think these are magic. And TJ, my husband, even had the flu this year while I was pregnant, and he had the stomach flu this year while I was pregnant. And I mean, we slept in separate places during that time, but I never caught it. And so it's amazing. I don't know what happened with this cold. This is a bad one too. I actually have a friend who's a nurse practitioner who also has this same cold, and she said it's definitely going around, and it's not COVID or anything. Like, I took 2 tests. The doctor wanted to really make sure. And so, yeah, it's just a cold, but started with a sore throat, and then it's just really bad nasal congestion, which is finally like mostly stopped, but now it's gone into my chest. And it's like, speaking of which, I have my water here, but I've been drinking plenty of water because it's a very fun one. And this is actually a fall one. This is a candle that I swear I have had since before TJ and I moved in together. And he and I have lived together now for 4 years. And I had this in the condo I was living in with my best friend before I moved in with TJ. And so that tells you, I would just like put this away with fall stuff and then bring it out and continue to burn it. And every year I'm always like, why didn't I burn this more? Because it smelled so good. I got it from Ross. It was $7.99, the tag's still on it. And it's pumpkin apple, and it's this brand, Bloom and Prosper. It smells so freaking good. And even so, it's not all the way used up. I mean, it pretty much is. I mean, you can see right there. But when you would light it now, it wouldn't even stay lit for very long. So I'm like, okay, this is just done. It has, passed its time. It's very old, but it smells amazing. And again, if you've been following me for a while, apple scents are my absolute favorite. And so I think just the pumpkin with the apple smells so good. Okay, here's a nail polish favorite that I actually used all the way up. It's the Holo Taco, and I remember my friend gave this to me in a set, like a holiday set, I think for Christmas, or maybe it was for my birthday a few years ago. And this was in the shade Frostlight. Holo Taco has my absolute favorite glitter formula because there's something about their glitters that the glitter is very much suspended in the nail polish. It looks like it's a regular glitter polish, but when you actually go to remove it, it's really easy to remove because the glitter's not on the outside. It just is very much suspended on the inside. It's really hard to explain unless you've actually used the product. But I went to use this the other day. I was like, oh, this would be the perfect shade for my baby shower because I'm having, a boy, and we kind of went with the blue theme. And I had used the whole thing up. So it took me a couple years, but that shows you I never use nail polishes up. So it shows you how much I really, really love this. I love the formula. I love the color too. Like the glitter at Christmas time is so, so pretty. I would definitely consider buying another one of these. I've been very into Lights Lacquer, but their glitters I do not like. This is way, way, way better. Like their glitters for Lights Lacquer are so hard to remove. Not like this at all. Okay, we have more fake lashes. So these are the Kiss the New Natural in the style Nude Blazer. I didn't like these. I use them up by cutting them in half and using just as outer corners. I'll do that with lashes that I try that I don't like because that tends to still make them look good. But they're almost like too thin and flimsy to the point where they bend out of shape really easily. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced that, but it is not my favorite. I definitely would go with the MLBB ones instead, but they worked for cutting them. You can see I, cut them quite a bit. So I used them all up, but I wouldn't repurchase these. They were not very good. Okay, talk about another one that took me forever to get through. I'm talking years. I finally was like, you know what? It's been too long. This is probably near expiring. Goodbye. So this is the Vaseline Intensive Care Advanced Repair Healing Moisture Lotion. Let me tell you why I bought this. Again, if you've been following me for a while, you know I have really bad contact dermatitis. I still don't 100% know what causes it besides hand sanitizer. Washing my hands causes it, all kinds of things. They sell this in a travel squeezy tube that I freaking love. I carry it around in my purse. It does such a good job. But I don't know if you guys have noticed with lotion, sometimes the packaging, they change the actual formula a little bit. And this is one that I felt like they really did that. It just was not as moisturizing as the little squeezy, travel size that I have. Because I bought this thinking like, oh my gosh, this is like my new holy grail. And it just didn't work as well. I mean, it did fine, but it what I'm using right now is from Nivea, and it's a cocoa butter one, and that works way better on my hands than this ever did. So it's kind of sad. Like, I still use the travel ones in my purse because they're so good, but this one is just, it doesn't work as well, and so therefore it took me a lot longer. I mean, I mostly use lotions when I get out of the shower, and I sometimes use oils, so it just kind of took me forever to go through this, several years. So I was like, you know what, it's down to probably this much, and it's probably expired. I just need to get rid of it. Talk about the best makeup remover wipes I have ever used. These are the CeraVe ones. They're newer, and I haven't found them again since, but they're so good. They don't irritate my skin. They don't have a scent. They do a great job of like clearing things off your hands, or if you need to take off makeup. I don't usually use these for actually removing my makeup, but I will use it for like every now and then for cleaning up my vanity. And these are definitely the best ones I have ever used. They're pricey. I want to say like $12 kind of pricey. I want to say, I could be wrong, but they were really, really good, and I've looked for them since, and now I can't find them. So I don't know what happened. My Target just stopped carrying them or what. So anyway, they're very, very good though. Okay, now we have a body wash. This is the Vino Skin Relief Body Wash. Okay, I have a funny story about this too. I bought the big one. I bought this when I first found out I was pregnant. I found out at 3.5 weeks, and I had no idea what I was allowed to use for skincare or not. And I think I don't remember where I looked up, probably 15-minute beauty. That's tends to be where I go to find out things that are pregnancy safe. And this was on there, and I've had good experiences with Aveeno products on my skin, especially because I have such sensitive skin. And this was good. Don't get me wrong, it's a body wash. It's good. I used the whole thing up. Here's the thing. It says that it is sulfate-free and fragrance-free. Keep in mind, I was in the first trimester of my pregnancy when I bought this. Has a very light scent, and it's probably natural, I would assume, because it says it's fragrance-free. I hated it. Because this is so big, and I use this for pretty much my entire first trimester, I can't stand this scent now. And it's not even very strong. I was telling TJ, I was like, I hate it. Like, I could never buy this again because the scent, it's also, scent memory too. So not only did I hate the scent because I had super smell because I was in my first trimester of pregnancy, but also I was associating when I felt so sick with using this. So I never could repurchase this again. But as a body wash, it's a good body wash. Would I recommend it? No, because I hate the scent. Even now. And my scent has way calmed down, but I still don't. I couldn't do it. I have since bought a different one. Okay, I just used this one up this morning. It's the Natasha Denona High Glam Concealer. This is in the shade N1. That looks a little bit dark for me when I first put it on, but it always ends up looking okay. I really like this. I bought this about a year ago, and it's a beautiful concealer. There's a reason why so many people like it. It has a medium coverage. It's creamy, but not too creamy where it's slipping and sliding everywhere. It also works really well to highlight, the high points of your face if you're into doing that like I am. I really liked this, and I totally would repurchase it, but I went back to a drugstore one just because I like to mix things up that I'm also really liking. So I totally would repurchase this, and there's a reason why so many people love it. But yeah, I figured it was so expensive, might as well use a drugstore one this time. Okay, it looks like there's a little bit left in this one, but it probably wasn't coming out. So this is the Soft Soap Soothing Clean Aloe Vera Fresh Scent. It's like one of those refills. And let me see the scent. Yeah, it smells a lot like aloe, which I know I just said aloe because here in Hawaii, I grew up saying aloe. People that I know say aloe, but I know it's aloe technically. Anyway, I remember why I bought this, and the reason was this is probably a year after my contact dermatitis, and they had this exact soap at my work, I saw a difference in my hands when I would use this soap. And so I bought this, but come to find out, I don't actually think that it was the soap. I think that the water was less hard at my workplace than it is at my house. And so this still kind of like irritated my skin a little bit. And so I used the whole thing up. We used, we put it in all our different soap dispensers, but it's okay. It's not the best in the world. I feel like there's other ones I like better. Okay, if you saw a shift in light or frame, I had to take a break. My memory card was full, so I had to delete some stuff. But I'm back, and we still have a lot to go. Okay, let's see. We have a e.l.f. Skin Holy Hydration Makeup Melting Cleansing Balm. I really, really like this stuff. It's an amazing drugstore makeup remover. I will say, I used to kind of go through these like water once a month. And not that they're super expensive, but I've actually switched over to using micellar water. And I actually like it way more. I can't believe I'm saying that because I've been using cleansing balms for years, probably since like 2018. But if you're looking for one, the e.l.f. one is really good. It's affordable. It has a very light scent. There's a Neutrogena one in a blue tub also that I like just a little bit more, but this is a really, really good one. This is probably my second favorite. Okay, let's see. What do we have next? We have the Mrs. Meyer's Clementine Scent Hand Soap. And my husband really, really loves the Mrs. Meyer's scents and the formula. So this one smells really good. It's very summery, the Clementine. We usually just buy them from Costco. If you have a Costco near you, look for these because they'll have like seasonal ones and stuff too. I think they have Christmas ones out right now. So we really like these, but they can be pricey. So if you can find them on sale or on a deal, I definitely would recommend that. They also have like cleaner ingredients too, so we tend to use their cleaning products also. Okay, this I finally used all the way up. I've had this for a couple years too. Does Bath & Body Works even make this kind anymore? It's their Champagne Apple and Honey Antibacterial Moisturizing Hand Sanitizer. Gosh, this has got to be at least 3 years old, I would assume. We used it up in my classroom. That's where I finally brought it because this is one that really irritated my contact dermatitis just between, I think, the scent and it was supposed to be better for you because it was supposed to be more moisturizer-ish, but it still really irritated my hands. The smell was really good though. I actually have this as a body wash in my shower right now, so I like the smell, but as a hand sanitizer, not so much, and I haven't seen it in a long time, so I'm not even sure they make this type anymore. You guys let me know. Okay, we have the e.l.f. Lash Extender Mascara. I really, really like this mascara. They actually sent this to me as a free birthday gift. If you're part of their squad, which anyone can be, I think it's free to join. This was their free birthday gift to me this year, and this isn't the one. I have a new one. My birthday was in September. But I really like this tubing mascara. This is one of the better ones from the drugstore that I've used, actually better ones in general that I've used. Some formulas say that they're tubing, but I'm not sure they actually are because they don't actually come off in the shower with hot water. This is one that does, and this one lasts through crying pretty darn well. I also really love the Milani one, but this is the one I'm using right now, and I forgot how good it was. This one's definitely a little bit more waterproof than the Milani one if you're looking for a good drugstore one, but I pretty much just have to use tubing mascaras because my eyes are so small and they're hooded. Any other mascara smudges on me. Tubing mascaras are the only ones that don't, and even then, some tubing mascaras do. So that's what makes me wonder, is this really a tubing mascara? The Tarte one smudges on me. Essence one smudges on me. This one doesn't. The Milani doesn't. The Thrive Cosmetics one doesn't. So there are a handful that don't, but that's how I really know they're tubing, is if they actually don't smudge and if they come off in tubes in the shower. Some I'm like, how is this tubing if it's not even coming off with warm water in tubes? Anyway, I feel like these are always in my empties. This is the Costco brand, the Kirkland. They're laundry detergent pods, and they're good. I think sometimes pods in general can leave those weird stains on your clothes, but then if you wash them again, the stains will go away. I don't know if you guys have ever encountered that before, but that's something I've noticed about pods in general, not just these pods. But these are really good bang for your buck, and we tend to use these on, my husband has to wash napkins and stuff for catering, and we'll use these for that too, and OxyClean, but kind of interchangeably. So these work out fine, but I'm using the Persil ones right now because I just like the smell of the Persil ones better. These don't have a scent. I have a whole video on this. This is the Osea Algae Body Oil. And this is a really good body oil. I don't know if it's worth the price unless you really want to treat yourself, but it does feel really nice and feel very high quality, and it sinks into the skin fairly quickly. So I would repurchase it. I just don't know if it's totally worth the price because I think there are drugstore ones too that are also pretty good. But I did a whole review on Osea skincare, so if you haven't seen that, I can link it. Okay, we have the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish setting powder. I really like this. I probably would repurchase it, but I feel like I need to find a drugstore alternative. I only use this under my eyes, so it actually took me forever to get through this. This was in the shade, gosh, what shade was this? One Fair Pale. And this is really, really like smoothing underneath the eyes to set concealer. And so this is amazing, but Charlotte Tilbury is so expensive. So I feel like I would repurchase it, but also would I spend that much money on it? I don't know. And it's also nice all over the face, but I like ones that are a little bit heavier for all over the face. This is just a little bit too lightweight for me for all over, but I love it for under the eyes. Okay, we have the Sensodyne Pro Enamel toothpaste. We get these from Costco. Is this the whitening one? Yes, gentle whitening. I really like these. I haven't had a ton of tooth problems in my life. I chalk that up to mostly genetics, to be honest with you. But I will say, when my dentist told me that he had some concerns about my enamel and I started using this, I think there was a big improvement. He is actually the one that first suggested this brand to me, and I've used it ever since, and I really, really like it, and you can get it at Costco. So I think it's more expensive than other brands, but to me it's worth it because it actually does a really good job. I'm losing my voice over here. Okay, we have the Physicians Formula Waterproof eyeliner. That's their eye booster. I really like this. My only caveat is I feel like it runs out really quickly. I feel like I used this for only a couple of weeks and then it was completely out, and I was like, okay, well then this is a waste of money, even though it is drugstore. And Physicians Formula is pricier than other drugstore brands. So yeah, it kind of stopped working. It just wasn't as pigmented, and I had forgotten that was kind of why I stopped using it in the first place. So I don't know if they changed the formula or what, but it's good, but it's just for too short amount of time for me. Okay, this one I recently repurchased. It's the e.l.f. Halo Glow contour wand. I recently repurchased this. I want to do a video all about contour wands. I mentioned that recently in a different video, but I can give you a sneak peek. This is probably my favorite from the drugstore. It is such a nice, cool toned contour shade, and it blends into the skin so easily and so well, and it actually lasts a fair amount of time. So I recently repurchased this. I had had this for a while, and I had been using other ones too, but this one was clearly my favorite because this is one of maybe only two I had actually used up. So if you've never tried this, it's really good. I like it a lot. The only thing is that the packaging is very messy because you can't close it. It's just a squeeze up and then it's just everywhere. It's kind of nice if you're in a hurry because you can really quickly, you don't have to fuss with the packaging, but it does get really messy and then it'll get all over the stuff in whatever drawer you're keeping it in too. So yeah, I kind of wish they had the actual closure kind of packaging, but it probably saved money for them to not do that. Okay, we have the e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer. I love this stuff, you guys. And this is so good. I mean, it's just as smoothing as the original one, but it just feels a little bit more sanitary because it's in a squeezy tube instead of in that tub that you dig out with your hands. And I feel like it really helps with the filling in of my pores and also the longevity of my makeup too. So I really like this. I haven't repurchased it because I've had sample e.l.f. ones in their original packaging, just smaller, that I want to work through first just so that I'm not being wasteful, but I 100% will repurchase this. I don't think I've repurchased this one yet. I think this is still the original one I had, but I can't remember. I might have repurchased it one time already. Okay, the Anastasia Brow Wiz in the shade Soft Brown. It's fine, it's good, but I'm using one from CoverGirl right now that I absolutely love that is just as good. And I like that shade way better. Now, I could have found a better shade in this, I'm sure, but I just don't think brow products are worth spending a lot of money on because I feel like you can go through them fairly quickly, but you're paying such a high price point. Although this actually lasted me a long time. I feel like this definitely lasted me my entire first trimester and my second trimester also, because I only recently ran out of this. And I was wanting to use it up because I hated the color. It just wasn't quite right for me. I wanted to use the whole thing up. I was determined because I spent the money. So it was good. I wouldn't repurchase it though. Okay, we have the Estee Lauder Double Wear. This is in 1N1. This is one of my favorite foundations. Looks very messy. It's very well loved. I actually found this one, it's crazy, in my shade at TJ Maxx. So definitely look in their makeup section because sometimes you can find some good stuff. I'm sure it was getting old, but it worked really well. I love this one because it has full coverage, but only if you really, really build it up. If you shear this one out, you can get more of a medium coverage from it, just use less, you know what I mean? I always say this was my go-to when I had severe cystic acne, and there were people that I trust that they were being honest, told me they did not even know I really had cystic acne, because when you really build this up, it is opaque full coverage. So I love this. If you have a really hydrated base underneath, great. It can be mattifying and a little bit drying, but for me, it was never that bad as long as, you know, I used a moisturizer underneath. You could also use a glowy primer underneath. And I love this, would totally repurchase it, especially for however much I paid for it, which I want to say was only probably like $12 or something at TJ Maxx. Okay, I feel like there's always one of these in an empties too. This is Nizoral Anti-Dandruff Shampoo, and it has that ketoconazole 1%. My husband uses this for his dandruff, and my brother-in-law started using it because of my husband. I bought this for him originally, and it really, really, really helps him. Both of them, actually. And so I always have to repurchase this for my husband, because he starts to, you know, feel it coming on again when he's not using this. So he really, really likes this stuff. Oh, this is the Neutrogena makeup remover melting balm that I really, really like. They don't sell this in my Target anymore, which is kind of a bummer. I think they sell it in our Walmart, but like I said, I've moved over to my Cellar Water because it just lasts longer. This is definitely my favorite cleansing balm out of high-end drugstore. It is really, really good. And it really turns into like a true oil that really works to remove makeup. So highly recommend. We have a little mini Tarte Shape Tape that I bought. Here's the product. And this is their little travel size, and this is in the shade 12N Fair Neutral. I wanted to retry this because I remember it being too drying years and years ago, like 7 years ago when I tried it, but I actually really liked it. Not crazy about the smell, but this is not too drying on me anymore. I don't know if my skin has changed after Accutane or whatever, but it just has a really nice full coverage, and it just looks nice and flawless under the skin, on top of the skin. It doesn't look too cakey or anything on me. So I would repurchase it except for the scent. So I don't know if I would repurchase it actually, but I do like it. Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. Here is the product. I actually loved this stuff. It worked really, really well. And I can't remember, did I buy this? Maybe I did. I don't remember buying it, but I must have. I can't imagine someone buying me a clear brow gel. But like I said earlier with the brow pencil, I just don't think that high-end brow products are worth it, because I'm using one right now from L'Oreal, I think, that I really, really like. I wouldn't repurchase this because I like this other one from the drugstore just as much. It's just, I think the drugstore does brow products so well that you don't need to purchase high-end anymore, but I did really like this. So if you do get this as a gift or something like that, it is really good. It's just clear. It's not super strong hold, like glued to your face, which I like. There's still some give, but it is going to hold your brows in place. Oh, we have another of the e.l.f. makeup remover balms. Shows you how much I like them. Oh, I really liked this one. This is the Naturium Vitamin C Complex Serum. I got the travel size just to try it, and it actually took me a while to go through this, although I was also using one from Derma E every other day, so that's probably why it took longer. But I like this one a little bit better, especially the packaging, because the packaging seems more controlled, that the product wouldn't go bad as fast, because that one is very see-through. But I did really like this. Does it have a scent? No, it doesn't have a scent or anything. And yeah, it just, I do notice a difference when I use vitamin C serums in general. I do like the Derma E one. This is more expensive, I think. But for the packaging, to keep it more stable, I think this one is probably better. So I'm still trying to use up the Derma E one. I'm almost done, and I think I'm going to buy the full size of this once I finish that one, because I really, really liked this. Okay, we had a full size and a travel size of the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Water Cream. I love both of these. I use this every night. At the beginning of my pregnancy, noticed that my skin was really dry. I don't know what was going on. And so I switched back to using this and using it with Fidelity every night. And I haven't had that problem ever since. This is such a good, simple, especially if you have sensitive skin, a simple moisturizer that isn't going to break the bank because you can just get it at the drugstore. It's more expensive than other drugstore moisturizers, but it's worth it. Like, it's good, but it's not going to be as pricey as something that's super high end, you know? And it kind of seems like it's going to have a gel texture, but I'm not a huge fan of gel moisturizers. And this one, it really is, once you blend it out, more of a cream. It's not like other gels, because I'm not a big gel fan. I just don't think it provides enough moisture. This is gel plus. Like, it's kind of got a gel texture that is more of a cream once you blend it out, if that makes sense. But I really, really like these. I'm using one right now. Okay, we have the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Concealer. This is in 0.5 Ivory, L.5 Ivory. I really like this. I like to layer this one because it's definitely more of a thin consistency, and I like just a little bit more coverage than this, but it is really nice and it's very hydrating under the eyes. I don't know what's going on with Flower Beauty. I don't know if they're even still a brand. I've said that before. I really have no idea, because you can't really buy their stuff online anymore. You can on Amazon. But once it sells out, it seems like it's sold out and they're not restocking it. So I don't know what's going on with the brand. But I do like this. This has been like a cult favorite, I think, for a long time. But I do think I need to layer another one with this. I don't like to just use this one on its own because it's not quite enough coverage for me. We have a Crest 3D White Advanced Radiant Mint Little Mini toothpaste. This is, I'm sure I just used for travel. It works well, you know. You can definitely get a few like uses out of these, meaning like a whole trip. So you can probably get, I don't know if quite a month, but maybe like 3 weeks use out of these. I didn't really notice this helping with my whitening that much, but I know people love the 3D white. But yeah, for just a travel size one, which I'm sure I just got in the travel section at Target, it worked well. Okay, we're nearing the end, you guys. I love this. Oh my gosh, I got this in a sample size for my birthday last year, I think, from Sephora. This is the Way Leave-In Conditioner. If you're using this on wet hair, especially before you want to brush it out with an unbrush, which if you have not used an unbrush, you need to. They're amazing, way better than the wet brush. But this, it detangles, but it also keeps your hair so soft. I love it so much. It made me want to try more Way products, and the scent is really nice too. So big fan of this. They sell these little samples at Ulta, the same size, and it lasted me a long time, and I used it, you know, every time I washed my hair, which is probably like 3 times a week or something, 2 to 3 times. So yeah, highly recommend this as a leave-in conditioner. I'm sure the full size is pricey, but if you just get the sample size, it lasts you for a long time. So that's what I would recommend. I love it. Okay, I have a sample size of the Shiseido Ultimune Eye Cream. You guys, if I could afford to buy the full size of this, I would. It is really good, but I'm trying to stick to more affordable skincare unless it comes in like a little set. But this eye cream is really good, which doesn't surprise me because their Ultimune serum, again, if you've been watching me for a while, is one of my favorite serums. So this is really good. It's super hydrating under the eyes. I loved using this at night after getting out of the shower. It felt so nice to use. And I know you don't have to use eye creams, but this one is just, it's really nice. I'm using one right now from CeraVe that I like, but I don't like that one nearly as much as I like this one. This one is just so moisturizing. I love it. Okay. And then I have this Osea Ocean Cleanser. Again, for a more in-depth review, you can watch that video I did on Osea. This is a really good cleanser for taking off the rest of whatever you have going on your face, whether it's makeup after using a makeup remover or whether it's just like dirt and oil from the day. But it does make your skin feel super like squeaky clean and almost tight. So I would use a really good moisturizer after, or their serum is really nice too and super hydrating. So those two together, it was a really good match. But I wouldn't use this just on its own because it is a squeaky clean feeling that I don't like. I also am not crazy about the smell of these products. It's a citrusy kind of scent that I know some people love. Me, not so much. So another Osea product. It is their hyaluronic C serum. And again, this is the serum I was just talking about. This I would consider repurchasing because the smell is not as strong and it is super hydrating. It is a really nice serum. If you do with dry skin, you might want to consider this because it's really good. And yeah, the smell isn't as bad, and especially those two together, the cleanser from Osea and then you use this, it's a really good combination. But even just this on its own, it's really nice. It almost feels sticky when you put it on, but then after a minute, it soaks into your skin and is just super hydrating. So would recommend this one. And last but not least, this candle that was also from Ross, $6.99. It was a Chesapeake Bay candle, Harvest Sangria. My husband really likes this one. And it's, you know, yeah, it's hard to, let's see. Does it have it doesn't have the notes on here, but it's definitely like pears and seems like maybe apples. And yeah, I don't know what sangria is supposed to smell like. And you can see we didn't completely use the entire thing up. There's like that much left, you know, maybe like a third left. But this is another one that you would light it. If you look at the wicks, you would light it and it just wouldn't stay lit. It was so old. Again, I had this one, I think probably, maybe I bought this the year I moved in. So maybe it's like 4 years old, but it was time, but it smells really good. So if you ever see this one, I would pick it up because it's really nice. And it was only $6.99 at Ross, and the original price, it says $12. So even that's not too bad. This is good timing because I'm losing my voice. If you enjoyed this video, I hope that you will subscribe and give it a like. It does really help out my channel. And if you are already subscribed, I hope you hit the notification bells to get notified when I upload new videos. And I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. Love you guys. Bye.